What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to the official start to the video series, Fatherhood and Fitness. Today's subject is going to be training with the newborn. I've recently gone through this because I have a 6-month-old, and I want to preface by saying training now with a 6-month-old is totally different than training with a 1 week, 2 week, 1 month, 2 month, 3-month-old baby. And with that said, there are phases that we go through, and I'm certain that there's going to be new phases over the next 6 months, and then the next 2 years and 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, etc. So in reality, this video series can go on indefinitely, but I detract from the purpose of today's talk. I also want to preface by saying this video is obviously tailored to new parents, specifically new fathers, because that's obviously what I relate to best. But hopefully this message reaches a lot of people who have a busy schedule, because that's ultimately what it boils down to, is how busy your schedule is and fitting training into that schedule. Second thing that I want to preface with, what I'm talking about is going to apply to the average gym goer, the person who is not a professional athlete that requires training to earn a living, to be the best in a particular sport or anything like that. So I would be curious to know at the end of the video, if you are a professional athlete, someone who trains for super competitive lifting or sporting, how you identify with this video and how you relate and what your thoughts are, because my bullet points that I'm prepared to talk about here probably differ significantly in the fact that training does not come first for me, and maybe it has to come first for you. I don't know. With that said, the first bullet point that I want to address, whenever you're training as a new parent, you have to have a family first mindset. At least that is how it is for me, because family is a value that trumps training and fitness any day of the week. My wife's sanity and her mental health and her desire to feel pursued and still feel like we're in a marriage and we're not just partners who are raising a baby together, because that's what it could feel like sometimes. You're so busy, you just kind of feel like this is a person that I live with. We're just getting by to get things done. You're just good help for me. You don't really feel married, because you kind of lose that intimacy, that one-on-one. It's just us, and you lose the date nights and things like that. And so got to prioritize her, make sure she feels loved, make sure she feels connected, make sure she feels supported, that I'm pulling my weight around the house with the baby at work and supporting her along those ways. Secondly, a newborn, critical years to spending quality time with them and prioritizing them, face-to-face time, no phones, no distractions, enjoying time with your new family member, bringing them into your world, showing them how awesome it is, showing how awesome of a parent you are and how much fun life is going to be growing up with you as their father. So family first, that is number one. That means everything that comes after it, including training, is not the top priority for me. Therefore, the rest of these bullet points, they're not going to have this huge, profound impact on my mental health whenever it comes to fitness. Second point, sorry about that noise. That was the spring in the chair about to break underneath my massive weight. Second bullet point, be prepared for changes. Learn to be fluid. I think it goes without saying, whenever you have a newborn, your life changes drastically. And so you have to be prepared for those. Don't be caught off guard whenever your workout routine has to change. You can't spend an hour or two in the gym. Your strength dwindles. You put on a little weight. You get tired easily because you're not working out as much. And so you feel out of shape. You feel out of breath. Your diet sucks because you're waking up every 4 hours and you're trying to keep the house in order, try to keep your life in order. And it just is a juggling act. So you have to be prepared that there's going to be changes you're going to have to deal with. And you could either let that crush you mentally, or you could learn to be fluid and you could go with the flow and you could adapt and move things along. You could adapt your training. You could fit training into your schedule, not trying to fit your schedule around your training. Again, let's go back to the professional athlete, someone who has to do this for a living, someone who's preparing for competitions. Maybe there's a fine line there, but I would be curious to know. So please share with me your thoughts on that bullet point in particular. Fit training to your schedule, not your schedule to your training. I have had to do this over the past 6 months. That means sometimes on 4 or 5, if you're lucky, 6 hours of sleep, you're choosing to stay up whenever your family goes to bed, because there's no way I'm going to come down here and work out whenever my wife is stuck taking care of the baby, unless, there's an understanding. She's like, yeah, I've got this, go ahead, that's fine. Or I'm waking up at 4 a.m. so that way I have time to do the things that I like to do in the morning. That way I have time to cook breakfast after my workout. That way I have time to clean up and be at work on time. And so I've had to fit training to this new schedule where I'm anticipating my boy waking up anywhere between, 11 p.m. at night to 4 a.m. in the morning. Now, at 6 months, he's actually sleeping from 7:30 or 8 p.m. until 6 or 6:30 most mornings. And that means there's time in the evening to do more things, to have quality time with my wife. There's more time in the morning to wake up, feel rested enough to get it in at 4 or 4:30 a.m. So it's been a learning curve. It's been a journey, and it's been an adventure. And you can't be bummed out about that, because life is an adventure, and you're going to make the most of it, or you're just going to let it crush your hopes and your dreams and feel like everything sucks. But I choose not to think that way, because everything that I have in life, my family, my health, my home, my career, is a blessing. So let's see, where are we at now? I think with fitting training to a new schedule and adapting your training kind of ties into trying out new training styles or programs. I went from training as a power lifter and focusing on squat, bench, deadlift every day of the week to trying something that I didn't really want to do before. It was always in my mind that I want to try this one day, but I don't want to do it right now because this other program I'm working is suiting my needs and I'm gaining from it. And so I went with a Bulgarian style training for a couple of months. That was neat. I would love to do that again, maybe whenever he's older and I'm able to get more rest, because that was taxing on the body, and that's why I didn't keep it up, because I cannot keep up with the amount of recovery needed whenever you squat every day for 2 weeks. Also, there were days that I would miss out on training, so it just did not become effective for me. And then I just kind of went into doing whatever I wanted. I would wake up that morning and I would say, I feel like doing this, that, and I would just do it. And that was great because there was no expectation of what I need to do, what lifts that I have to hit. There was no goals really in mind other than just to train. So there was no disappointment or letdown whenever I couldn't do it the way I wanted to do it. So trying new styles, new programs, this is a great time to do it. You could mess around with things that you normally don't mess around with. And the reason you could do this is because you already know everything's changed. You already know your schedule's going to change. You already know that you're going to have to adapt to training, that life has changed. And so you kind of have this opportunity where you could try these new things without consequence, because you already expect that there's going to be some change in the way you train because of this new circumstance that you're in. I guess the last little bit of advice is accept any loss, any change, any weight gain, strength loss, physical change. Accept all that at first, because the first couple months are crazy. And I just want to encourage you that if you are a parent to a newborn, those first couple of weeks and couple of months, you're winning, because you're getting up every day, you're doing the thing, you're taking care of your family, you're raising a child, you're teaching them good habits early on. Even whenever they're so young, you think, does this really matter? Yes, it does matter. It's critical. You're spending quality time with your family. You're getting to experience something some people try for years to experience and they can't. You're getting to experience a new person who is blood of your blood into your life and bringing them into your world and showing them how fun and awesome it is to be a child in this house, be our son or our daughter, because we're rock star parents. Even though we're not winning all the time and we have room to grow, you're still a rock star because you're getting up and you're doing the thing. You know what I'm saying? And so don't be hard on yourself for all these physical changes, these training changes. I get that that could be very difficult. I struggled a little bit with it. My wife certainly struggled with it because her recovery obviously was a lot longer than me. I just had to recover from a day of sleeping in a hospital lounge chair. She had to recover for 10 weeks from pushing a human out of her, which is insane. And so more difficult for the ladies. That's why I'm kind of speaking to the husbands here. But as a husband, I saw what she went through and I tried my best to support that. And so you have to know that you're doing something extremely difficult by raising a child, starting a family, and you have to count every single win, which is waking up every 2 hours to love on your baby by changing their diaper, feeding them, tending to their needs. And I really don't know what else there is to say on this topic. I would love to get your feedback and hear your thoughts. Again, if you train for a living and you perform as an athlete for a living, tell me how you relate to these things. If there's anything that's different for you, I would love to hear your perspective on things. Other than that, we're going to be tuning in next Monday for a similar kind of talk. I don't know what we're going to talk about, but I'm looking forward to it. Thank you if you stay tuned until the end of the video. Until next time.